So this is a video about the Honda Accord 2004. This one's got about 148,000 miles on it, and it's setting a code for the knock sensor. And this is the code it's setting: P0325 knock sensor no signal code. And that's the code that happens when there's no wire, or the wire's broken, or it's just not picking up a signal from the knock sensor. So hopefully we fixed it, and I'll clear this code and see what happens. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a knock sensor and the knock sensor wire for a Honda Accord. It's a 2004. It's got the 3.0 V6. And what happens is a lot of times is it'll set a P0325 code, and it's because a lot of times a rodent, some kind of rat or mouse, has climbed in up under the intake, and they have chewed the wire for the knock sensor so that there's no more wire going to the knock sensor. They just eat it up because they're just sitting right there in between the heads getting warm, and they see that wire and they like to nibble on it. So if that code is popping up, it's a good chance that the wire is destroyed or chewed up, and if not, then you need to probably replace the knock sensor. So the knock sensor, if you can see down in there, there's a little hole up under the intake that it screws into. And this is what the knock sensor looks like. It just screws in. It's got one wire that plugs in to the connector. So you need to replace that. And here's the new harness. You can repair the wire also if you want to, but I just went ahead and bought this new wiring harness, and it plugs in right here. And you can check, it'll plug in right here, and you can check to see if that is chewed up and pull it out and look at it. Plugs in there, and then it goes up under there and plugs into your knock sensor. So yeah, this wire was only like nine bucks, and the knock sensor is about 30 bucks. And so it calls for taking off the intake, the upper intake and the lower intake, to get to that knock sensor. But if you take out the power steering pump, which goes right here, it's like 3 bolts and a hose. Take that off, move it to the side. Then you can take out this bracket. There's a little bracket here, 2 bolts that goes right there. It gives you a little bit of room to put your hands in there, and a wrench. Then once you get all that out of the way, you have enough room in here to get your hand in there, and you can pull that wire off, and then you can take it's a 24. I just bought this one because it works. It's a little skinnier than my other one. It's a 24 millimeter wrench, and you can stick it in there, and you can actually get to that knock sensor and unscrew it. The old one, I tried to pull the wire off and it broke. Otherwise I just replaced the wire, but that thing broke on me, so I ended up just buying a knock sensor, and I'm going to screw that down in there. It's pretty simple, and you actually can get to it with your hand once you move all that stuff out of the way. It's a little difficult, especially if you got big hands. I got pretty big hands, I'm 6'1", but I guess I got fairly skinny hands too, so that helps. But you can get it in there, you can start it, and screwing it down in there. Right, I got it hand tight. If you can see down there or not. There it is. Then I'll have to tighten it down a little bit with the wrench, and then after I do that, I'll just plug in that harness, put everything back together, and you'll be good to go. Clear that P0325 code, and hopefully I shouldn't have any other problems. Let me know if this is helpful. Thanks.